development in the world of sport, folks. Magnus Carlsen, the current and dominant chess world champion, is not going to defend his world title in 2022. Yes, Magnus Carlsen, in a statement on his podcast, which was done by his sponsor, has revealed a shocking news that he will not defend his World Chess Championship title. Who his opponent was going to be? Jan Nepomniachtchi. This incident has now thrown the chess world in a total crisis. There are several reasons for this. One, Magnus Carlsen is not too thrilled about facing a contender in the current chess format that is currently there in the World Chess Championship. Now you have to understand what is the format of the World Chess Championship. There are 14 classical games spread out in the course of 2 to 3 weeks. The winner of, if the 14 chess games are drawn, if the scoreline remains the same, it then goes into rapid. If the rapid games are tied, then it goes into blitz. And if it is even drawn in blitz, then we encounter the sudden death Armageddon. Now, this is the format that Magnus Carlsen has not been too keen on. He has suggested to FIDE and he suggested to multiple organizers that we have to change the format so that it is much more appealing. Carlsen, in simple, straight words, is not motivated and he is bored of defending his World Chess Championship title in the current format. Apparently, he has also revealed that he made a request to the FIDE president to change his format, to change the way how the World Chess Championship is there, a mix and match of all in the middle. The FIDE president has not responded back to it. And it is very interesting to note that Magnus Carlsen has not yet officially withdrawn, but he has said he is withdrawing. He will not compete in the World Chess Championship and he will not defend his title. So, after a gap of a decade of absolute dominance in the chess world, be it in any format, classical, blitz, rapid, we might see a new champion being crowned. Who are the potential contenders who could play that match? It is Jan Nepomniachtchi and Ding Liren of China. Why Jan Nepomniachtchi and Ding Liren? For that, you have to understand the process of how the qualification happens for the World Chess Championship. Essentially, there is only one tournament that will give you direct access to the World Chess Championship final, and that is the candidates. Now, how do you qualify for the candidates? Number one, do well on the Grand Chess Tour in all the major events that are there. Say, for example, the Sinquefield Challenger, the St. Louis Challenger, and all these other events. You finish on top 3. You finish in the top 3 or 4 of that cycle. You are then considered for the candidates. When there is the Chess World Cup, the finalists will qualify for the candidates. And the individual who had competed in the previous World Chess Championship, and if he's done well, he will also be there in the candidates. So, in the candidate section in 2022, it was Jan Nepomniachtchi who won for the second consecutive time. He's one of the few individuals to have won the candidates twice. Ding Liren finished in the final. Now, with Magnus Carlsen's withdrawal, that means the finalists of the candidates will square off for the World Chess Championship title. Now, there are 9 months remaining. There are 9 months remaining for the World Chess Championship clash between Carlsen and Jan Nepomniachtchi. Technically, Carlsen can still change his mind and then say, okay, I will compete. But if reports are to be believed, he had a conversation with FIDE. He also had a conversation with other organizers. There was just no scope of it, and Carlsen is firm that he will not defend his title. It is a very, very surprising thing considering that even now, Magnus Carlsen is still at the peak of his powers. I mean, what a fantastic chess player he is. After Garry Kasparov, Karpov, Anand, Magnus Carlsen is the next biggest thing that has happened to the sport. Remember Carlsen's journey. He defeated Anand in Chennai in 2013, and since then he's established a level of dominance. He won it again in 2014 by again defeating Anand, but that was a closer encounter. But in subsequent encounters, even say against Sergei Karyakin, even against Fabiano Caruana, and even against the likes of Jan Nepomniachtchi, he has successfully managed to defend his World Chess Championship title. Carlsen's ELO ratings. ELO is the standard by which a player's ranking is judged and the number of points he's accumulated. It is over 2,800 in all three formats. That is like, if you have to look at the cricketing parlance, he has an average of over 100 in all three formats. Simply stunning, and the level of dominance that Magnus Carlsen has established, it is unparalleled. There were greats in the past. Boris Spassky, Jose Raul Capablanca, Alexander Alekhine, Garry Kasparov, Anatoly Karpov, Vishwanathan Anand, and then it's Magnus Carlsen. If you have to understand that is how he stands among the all-time greats in the world. This decision will have serious ramifications for chess in the championship for two reasons. Number one, will they want to change a format that has been there ever since the 90s? Because remember, if you have to even go back to the Karpov and if you have to look at the Kasparov-Anand match in 1995 in New York, they did play a lot of classical games. At that time, it was even more, close to 20 games. That has now dropped down to 14, which has been happening in the last 5-6 years. So Magnus Carlsen has left the chess world stunned, still at the height of his powers. He still can defeat anybody on a given day. He decides to not defend his World Chess Championship title. It is a very sad day for chess, and technically, even now, 9 months remain. Carlsen can still change his mind and say, okay, I've changed my mind, I will play the World Chess Championship. But if he doesn't, it is going to be Jan Nepomniachtchi versus Ding Liren. And trust me, a new world champion could be a good thing or could be a bad thing for chess, because you kind of enjoyed Carlsen's dominance, the way how he used to win tournaments right out of the blue, never gave up, brilliant opening, strong middle game, and of course, be it white or be it black, Carlsen has established dominance. Now, what does that leave the other contenders to do? Yes, Jan Nepomniachtchi and Ding Liren are indeed going to give it their all. We could have a new world champion from China, the second Asian champion after Vishwanathan Anand, probably. Jan Nepomniachtchi continues the brilliance of the Soviet satellites, former Soviet satellites in chess, and it'll be interesting to see what that happens. So, the current breaking news at this point in time is that Magnus Carlsen will not defend his World Chess Championship title for two reasons. One, he feels the format has to change, and second, if he has to play in the format, he is just not motivated enough. He has also said, like, I have nothing to prove. Historically, it is not going to help me. So why should I defend the title? Carlsen has nothing to prove. He is one of the greatest players. He's won the World Chess Championship 5 times. It could have been a 6th. It might very well have been a 6th, because Jan Nepomniachtchi does not have a good record against Carlsen. But it's a very sad day for chess. One hopes that Carlsen reconsiders his decision. On the other hand, if there is a new world champion, one hopes that the format changes. Satvik Sharma, probably not in the best interest of chess history. Yes, it is not a good decision, honestly, in my opinion, because you cannot change a format overnight. If you want to change formats, there is also the World Rapid Championships. Remember, Anand won it in 3 different formats altogether. He won it in round robin style, he won it in classical style. The round robin style seemed to have been a very difficult situation, because let's look back at the round robin format. In 1997 and 98, Anand had to play 31 matches in the round robin stage so that he could face Karpov in Lausanne. Those 31 games in Groningen happened in the space of 1 month. Now imagine that you have played 31 games in the space of 1 month and you are brought to face the world champion in Lausanne who hasn't played a single game. Anand drew the classical but lost in the rapid. He clearly mentioned it, that I was brought to Lausanne on a coffin. So even the round robin had some formats. FIDE now has to make a serious wake-up call as to how they want the remaining chess world championship formats. Because if a player like Carlsen can withdraw because out of lack of motivation, It's a very serious thing indeed. So, thank you so much, folks, for joining us for the special live. We will be back with more analysis from sports today. Press the like, comment, and share button, folks. We are also there. Satvik is saying it would, in some way, inadvertently devalue the achievement of the next world champion. Kind of, yes. Jan Nepomniachtchi and Ding Liren will always remember. So much, folks, for joining us for this live. We will be back with more updates. We are also there on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, folks. Thank you.